This is another book that I got for my birthday. I think it's essentially a biography of C.S. Lewis's imagination, which is fantastic, and I've heard great reviews about it, so I'm super pumped to read this. I can't decide whether to start soon or save it for my trip to the UK in a few weeks. I think I might save it because I'm still working my way through this book, also on the mind of C.S. Lewis. So if I can get this one done in the next few weeks, yeah, that should be easy. Then I will work my way towards the Narnian and hopefully take this on the plane and on my travels. Okay, look how our clematis has sprouted. Wow. And our roses. What?
Hey guys, so I think I'm about to head out to the cafe to get some work done, and I can't decide whether I'm going to do some creative writing and work on my novel or whether I'm going to keep doing readings and research for my master's in history thesis. I'm sort of feeling like doing more reading. I feel like I'm on a bit of a roll in terms of learning about Anna Maria von Schumann and thinking about her connection, thinking about her role in the history of women's education and classical education and all these things. So that's probably what I'm going to do, but I'm definitely craving a nice iced latte. So I'm going to head to the cafe to do that.
These are the books that I currently have on the go for my personal reading, and I just cannot decide which one to pick up this afternoon. It's a really hot afternoon, and I feel just sort of uncomfortable and gross, but I'm hoping that I can still manage to get into a bit of a reading mood. Not sure if I should stay home or go to the cafe. I don't know. Okay, I've decided to stay in for this afternoon, and I think I'm going to work my way through the next book of The Fairy Queen. Sorry, I should say the next canto. I finished Canto 1 the other day, so I'm gonna make my way through Canto 2. whose forged beauty he did take in hand, all other dames to have exceeded far, I in defence of mine did likewise stand, mine that did then shine as the morning star, to both the battle fierce arranged are, in which his harder fortune was to fall. Under my spear, such is the die of war, his lady left as a price, martial, did yield her comely person to be at my call. I'm saying these verses in my head, trying to get the meter right, because it is really musical if you nail it. I'm not so good at nailing it, but I'm trying my best. So I bought this little edition of The Adventures of Tom Bombadil by J.R.R. Tolkien for a student of mine who unfortunately has to leave us next year, so I'm thinking of writing a little inscription on the front here somewhere and then getting his other teachers and classmates to do so as well. This kid is like a lore master when it comes to the world, Middle-earth, and J.R.R. Tolkien. He is brilliant. He knows more about Tolkien and his universe than I probably ever will. So yeah, I just thought this was a very sort of sweet and meaningful goodbye gift for him. So I finished The Adventures of Pinocchio by Carlo Collodi a few days ago. It's fantastic. It is such a delightful moral fairy tale, and I thoroughly enjoyed reading through it and looking at the little illustrations. It's quite funny, so highly recommend The Adventures of Pinocchio by Carlo Collodi. Then I'm reading through Tending the Heart of Virtue, How Classic Stories Awaken a Child's Moral Imagination by Dr. Vigan Guroian, and sure enough, the first fairy tale that he explores is Pinocchio. So I found this chapter hugely insightful in terms of, further exploring the deep meaning within this somewhat simplistic, childish fairy tale. There is so much going on in it, and this book really helped me uncover that. So now I'm trying to figure out which fairy tales I should read next. And to be honest, I'm thinking The Wind in the Willows, and I love to read some John Ruskin, The King of the Golden River, and some of George MacDonald's fairy tales, perhaps starting with The Wise Woman. Yeah, I mean, all of these are going to be on my TBR list, to be honest. I'm just thinking which ones should I get my hands on first. I highly enjoyed the process of reading the fairy tale first, stewing over it for a few days, and then reading what Vigan Guroian had to say about it. So, looking forward to doing some more of that. And here's something that perhaps you guys could help me with. I'm trying to decide what books to take along and what to read while I'm traveling through the UK, through Scotland and England. In about 3 weeks, we are leaving Ontario for the UK. I'm thinking of taking along The Narnian, the biography of C.S. Lewis's imagination that I showed earlier in this video, but I'd also love to read some fictional works by British authors while I'm there, and I'm really on a C.S. Lewis kick right now, so I'm thinking maybe the Space Trilogy, but I'd also love to read some George MacDonald while in Scotland, so I'm thinking some of his fairy tales. I'm debating whether reading Surprised by Oxford by Carolyn Webber again. I don't know, I'd love to read some sort of history of Oxford or some sort of story set in Oxford while I'm in Oxford. I think that would be fantastic. I did just finish one of the Inklings biographies, so I've been feeling like I've been living in that world recently, but there's nothing I love more than while traveling to read a book about the place that I'm in, set in the place that I'm in, whether that's a historical book or whether that's fiction. So if you have any recommendations, please do let me know. That would be fantastic. I've decided to go to the thrift store because I'm feeling super restless and this heat is getting to me, but I want to get out. I can't sit in my house anymore. So I'm thinking maybe I'll go look at the books and see if I can find any of the C.S. Lewis books that I'm hoping to read on my trip. All right, these are the books that I just picked up at the thrift store. I found these gorgeous editions of Les Mis. I'm a little bit confused about volumes 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5 because I'm pretty sure this one here contains the whole novel. And then volume 2, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with these. I'm going to have to look into it. I haven't actually read Les Mis cover to cover, so that's on my TBR list. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking these out, and they're just so beautiful. I can't believe it. Then I got 3 Wordsworth classics. I got the works of Samuel Taylor Coleridge, Wilkie Collins' The Moonstone, and D.H. Lawrence, Women in Love. I'm not so sure about this one. Yeah, I have sort of mixed feelings and opinions about D.H. Lawrence, so we'll see how that one goes or if I even end up reading it or keeping it. We will see. Let me know if you've read either of these two and if you recommend them. I also got some absolutely stunning pieces of artwork for our new upper school wing at the classical school where I teach, so I'm going to bring those to class tomorrow and just store them in my classroom for now for this coming fall. So hopefully I can get a shot of them once they're in the classroom. They were too big to take out of my car. I just left them in there. So yeah. And then I also found this sweet little cottage which I've put up here above my fridge. And these cute little kissing Dutchmen, which I just had to put in our bedroom. So I've come to the cafe to do some creative writing today because my mother-in-law just sent me a picture of her reading my novel and it sort of just like gave me this kick to go and write something. Also just because seeing her read that novel, I'm like, man, that is not the best I can do. I need to write something better. I need to keep writing. I really want to write a novel that I'm so proud of. Can't help but recommend it to everyone. Yeah, I'm not sure that my debut novel will end up being that novel forever. So yeah, I'm gonna go in, grab an iced latte, and see what I can come up with. Alright, I just wanted to share a few quotes from my Commonplace book. Most of these are from J.M. Barrie's Peter Pan in Kensington Garden and Peter and Wendy. The story of Peter Pan is probably my favorite story ever. I think about Peter often, think about Neverland. I lived in that story as a girl and I still feel like I'm living in that story all the time. So it's just the best, and I just wanted to share some of the beautiful words that J.M. Barrie wrote in regard to Peter. Here's one from Peter Pan in Kensington Gardens. The reason birds can fly and we can't is simply that they have perfect faith, for to have faith is to have wings. Oh, here's one from Seneca. Sorry, just random interjection. Leisure without letters is death in the burial place of a living man. 100% agree with that. Leisure for me is sitting down to read and to write and to think. Okay, final quote from Peter Pan. On these magic shores, these being the shores of the Neverlands, children at play are forever beaching their coracles. We too have been there. We can still hear the sound of the surf, though we shall land no more. And I just think, man, can we as adults truly never land on the shores of Neverland again? Never just be fully in our imaginations, fully in these other worlds? Are we that trapped in material reality? I don't know, there's something so sad about that quote
And it's haunting to think that so many of us, if we stop to listen, can still hear the sound of the surf. You know, sort of the remnants of our imaginative life are perhaps still present in our day-to-day life, and yet we just can't return there. Is it really age that holds us back? I don't think so. I think it's something else. But do we choose to be away from Neverland? Are we conditioned to leave Neverland behind? What is it that separates us from those shores in adulthood? It's not reality, because I think the places of our imagination, the life of our mind, is just as real as that which we see and feel and touch and hear around us. But what is it? Perhaps it's just simply that we're taught, or we teach ourselves, to look away from the beauty of those things and seek beauty in other things. I don't know. Let me know if you have any thoughts on that, because I feel like it's one that I need to ponder for a little bit longer. Anyways, I think this is where I'm going to end off this video. Thank you so much for watching and for being here. Please give this video a like. Please give me some book recommendations, and let's have a discussion in the comments about whatever you want to discuss. And yeah, I will see you again very soon in the next one.